welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're gonna make the case for physical media yet again. But before we get into this one, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, as always, a shameless plug for my TeePublic store. The link for that in the description box below. And yes, today we are gonna make the case for physical media. And this is not a brand new release though that we're gonna talk about today. Today we're gonna talk about Dark Angel, or as we knew it in the US until several years ago, I Come in Peace, as I always knew it when I was a kid, but it was released overseas as Dark Angel and was shot under the title Dark Angel. We'll get into that. Now, this release is not a new one. This is new to me, but it's not a new release. But I wanted to talk about it because I'm a horror channel, but I'm big into physical media, and I picked this up on sale on Amazon about a month ago from Scream Factory, and I watched it last night finally, and I wanted to talk about this one. This release, by the way, came out July 9th of 2024. You can still pick it up. It's available on Groove Entertainment. It's available on Amazon and other places that you get your physical media. But we're going to talk about the movie, and then we're going to talk about the transfer. But Dark Angel, or I Come in Peace, how I knew it as a kid, or when I first saw it for the first several times, it was called I Come in Peace. Came out September 28th of 1990. It's rated R. It's an hour and 31 minutes long. Had a budget of $7 million, and sadly, upon release, it only made $4.3 million. This was directed by Craig R. Baxley. Now, he had been around for a while. He was the stunt coordinator, and he directed a bunch of episodes of The A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard. He was second unit director on Predator, which we all love Predator. It's a badass action horror movie. And he had already made Action Jackson in 1988. So this was his second film, theatrical film. And then right after this, he would go on to work with Brian Bosworth, Lance Henriksen, and William Forsythe on a pretty badass biker action movie called Stone Cold that would come out the next year. And I like Stone Cold a lot. If you've never seen it, check it out. It's definitely a hardcore R-rated biker action film that's definitely worth checking out, with some really spectacular action, as this movie has some spectacular action set pieces. In this film, though, we have Dolph Lundgren as Detective Jack Kane. He is the star of this movie. Brian Benben plays an FBI agent and ends up getting partnered up with Dolph Lundgren's character. And Brian Benben was mostly known for Dream On, the John Landis produced series that was on HBO back in the day. But I like him here a lot. I've always liked Brian Benben. I haven't seen him in a while or anything, but I like him here as the sidekick, or the partner that definitely Jack Kane does not want. And Matthias Hughes plays the big bad alien drug dealer from another planet, and we'll get into that. And pretty much that's the crux of this movie. This alien comes to Earth, drug dealing alien, who basically injects heroin into a human, and then once the human's getting high and producing those endorphins, the endorphin rush, he puts a hole in their brain and sucks out the endorphins to take back to his planet to sell. So that is pretty much the crux. Then we have Jack Kane, he loses his partner right in the beginning of the film in an undercover sting against the White Boys, which is this white-collar drug gang in the city of Houston where this movie was shot. And pretty much he has to deal with the White Boys, and he has to deal with this alien. He gets partnered up with Brian Benben's character, and we get action set piece after action set piece until the end, when Dolph Lundgren's character dispatches of the big bad alien, and that's the end of Dark Angel, or I Come in Peace. What to like about this film? Well, the action. Craig R. Baxley shoots great action, and here is no different. There's tons of explosions, tons of gun battles, hand-to-hand fights. It's all shot. It looks spectacular. Old school 80s, 90s style action, which I prefer. Where you can see everything going on, and real stunts, real explosions, real squibs, and we get tons of that here. I think Dolph Lundgren's really good here as Detective Jack Kane. I like him and Brian Benben together, playing off each other. And Matthias Hughes as the alien, I mean, he's gigantic. I think he's 6'5" in real life, and he's huge. And he did all of his own stunts. I mean, the scene where he's running across the cars, the hood of the cars, as the cars are exploding behind him, he did that. He did all of his stunts because they didn't have a stunt guy big enough to double him, so he had to do it. And he's a very athletic dude. Seems like a very nice guy, and so he was very capable of pulling off all of those stunts. The makeup effects of the alien and when he gets killed at the end looks really, really good. I think the lighting here, Mark Irwin was the cinematographer on this. I mean, most of this is at night. Neon-drenched nighttime scenes, and we'll talk about the 4K transfer. I mean, it looks gorgeous. It gives that nighttime kind of gritty, sleazy kind of vibe of a city, and it looks beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, especially on this 4K. Is this movie perfect? No, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it has a nice hook to it. This drug-dealing alien, that's his only function. He's killing people just to get this drug out of their brain to take back to his planet to sell. And I think that's pretty cool. There is a bounty hunter or a cop alien that comes to Earth. He doesn't last that long, but it gives our heroes a chance to get a hold of his gun, so they have a fighting chance against this alien. And then at the end, it kind of turns into a hand-to-hand combat between Dolph Lundgren and the alien, a la Predator. But I've always liked this film. I remember seeing this for the first time on network TV, network TV. It was WPIX 11 out of New York. If you're from the East Coast, Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, that area, you'll remember WPIX 11. Every Halloween, every October, they would play a horror movie every day of the week at 8 o'clock. And this was one of the ones that would be in heavy rotation during that time of the year, and that's how I first saw this movie. Again, like I said, when I first saw this, and for the first several times, I only ever knew it as I Come in Peace. They changed, that's what they released it as in the US. Overseas it got released as Dark Angel, but eventually they gave it the Dark Angel name when it got released on home video, like the Blu-ray release years ago and whatnot. So, but American audiences remember this mostly as I Come in Peace, but as of late, it's called Dark Angel like it was originally shot and conceived as. Although there was another name in there as well, but Dark Angel was the original title that they were shooting the movie under, actually. David Koepp actually did a rewrite of the script on this thing. So, I mean, he went uncredited, but he did do a rewrite on this film, and he'd go on to write Jurassic Park, work with Spielberg a bunch. So, yeah, he worked on this film as well. When Dolph Lundgren enters the Mini Mart, there's a little trivia here. The actor, he comes in, he roundhouse kicks this guy right in the face. He actually knocked that actor out for real because the actor missed his mark and got too close to Dolph. And Dolph's a really big guy. He's a tall dude. I think he's 6'5" or 6'6" in his own right. So when he came in and performed that kick, he really did make contact because the actor missed his mark to stop short and got kicked in the head and got knocked out. So that was really got kicked in the head, and he really got knocked out for sure. Like I said before, Matthias Hughes performed all of his own stunts because they had nobody that can double him for his size and stature. They shot this all in Houston. All the stunts were practical. Obviously, this is way back when you had to do stuff for real. There was no CGI. So the explosions are real and all that are real. And it looks awesome. At the end of the day, I would give the movie itself an 8.5 out of 10. If you've never seen this bad boy, this is a fun-ass movie. It's a short watch, hour and 31 minutes long. It sets up what it's telling you, what the story's going to be, and it just goes for it. And it's not pretentious, but I think it's a solid piece of action sci-fi cinema. And if you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. I do believe it is streaming on Tubi, but again, the Blu-ray version of this from Scream Factory and the 4K are still available online or at any retailer you can get physical media. Now, let's get into the disc. There's a Blu-ray and a 4K in here. I'm not going to open this up. It's a pretty standard Scream Factory release, in that case, a 4K release. 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative, presented in its original aspect ratio 1.85 to 1, Dolby Vision HDR10, and for the sound, it has a 5.1 DTS and a 2.0 DTS track. On here, on the Blu-ray, there's a brand new documentary, a look back at the movie. It's about 25 minutes long. The editor's involved. Some of the actors are interviewed. Brian Benben is interviewed and whatnot, and some of the other folks that were involved in the movie. And then there's a retrospective documentary from, it's not that old, maybe a decade old, with Dolph Lundgren, the director Craig R. Baxley, Brian Benben again, and some other folks about the making of this film and how they all pretty much enjoyed making this film. It seemed like a pretty good experience, but the actors did do a lot of stuff. Dolph did some of his own stunts. Brian Benben got involved in some of his own stunts as well. And it seemed like it was a really good shoot. And Craig R. Baxley pretty much brought in his whole family of stunt guys because he's from a stunt, his whole family was involved in the stunt industry and trade. So all of them were involved. His dad, his son, all of them were in there in the movie doing stunts or coordinating stunts for the film. This disc looks great. I have the old Blu-ray. The Blu-ray looked pretty good. It was a step up from the old DVD or the old VHS. The 4K looks great. It's probably the best this movie's ever going to look. The nighttime cinematography, the neon pops, you can see more details than people's skin and clothing, and those explosions against the night sky just pop off the screen. It looked absolutely beautiful. So they did a really nice job with the transfer on this. I was really satisfied with the transfer. It looks spectacular. Inky blacks. I mean, the grain's still there, obviously, but the movie is a significant upgrade from the old Blu-ray. And it looks fantastic. I can't imagine it looking any better than it does on this disc. So if you're a fan of this movie, I highly recommend the 4K. If you're into 4K media, it looks great. The auto mix is pretty good. I just had to turn it up. I had to turn it up louder than most mixes, but once it was up to a good level, the dialogue was clear, the action sounded great, the explosions, there's a lot of use of this, there's a lot of movement with the surround in terms of, especially with the disc flying through the air and the bullets and the explosions. So I just had to turn it up a little louder than I normally have to for a track of this kind. But once I had it up there, it sounded really good. So the audio track sounded great as well. And the special feature, I got to watch the new documentary. I've already seen the old documentary, but I didn't watch some of it. And the new documentary is really well done. Like I said, it's about 20-25 minutes long. And it goes over to the making of the movie. So I thought it was really well done. End of the day, this is a great release from Scream Factory. The movie looks great. It sounds great. The special features are always appreciated. So the disc itself, just because of the transfer and the special features, I'd give a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 for the disc, 8.5 out of 10 for the movie. Are you a fan of Dark Angel or I Come in Pieces? We've known it as when we were kids. That's what it was called. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. That's it for this one. But until next time,